I consider it a distinct honor to be given the privilege this morning to extend warmest welcome to all present at this, I would call it a auspicious occasion, which is the opening of this spanking office of NCI. Though we actually relocated here several months ago and started operation, today represents our official opening. And it coincides with a great opportunity for us to launch some new health products, which we are going to educate you on later. Now, insurance is very important business, and I would like to use myself as an example to highlight how important insurance is. Now, I joined NCI just 5 years ago, and I was actually very surprised at how peripherally knowledgeable I was on insurance-related matters. And when it all started to unfold for me, I started to look into the community at everybody else out there and made a firm assumption that everybody else also must be peripherally knowledgeable. But insurance is extremely important. In fact, you'll be very surprised to know that a comprehensive knowledge of life and health insurance in particular can aid with your financial prudence, your financial discreetness. And that's a discovery that I made only when I joined National Insurance. So for those persons who are members of insurance, you have made a great decision. And those who are not, it's very important that you get on board. But during the course of the day, we will spend some time with you and provide you with that education. We have been going around to schools and elsewhere and imparting that important knowledge to teachers and students. I'll tell you a short story. Some years ago, I went to Charlestown Secondary School and I spoke to fourth formers about the importance of life insurance. And one fourth former, who on completion of sixth form, went to her father and said to him, I recall when the insurance man, that's how she described me, came to fourth form and talked to us about insurance. I still remember it, and it's time for you to get me my life insurance because it is very, very important. And he called me and told me about it, and of course I was delighted because I know my message resonated. So this is a great occasion for us to have some persons here. I am sure others will come in. And throughout the day and over the course of the next week and beyond, I hope that we will really whet your appetite as far as insurance is concerned, and persons will be coming back. The last time I was a chairperson, somebody reminded me that I was only the chairperson and I must not make a speech. And so I shall pause here, and I will invite Miss, please forgive me, I can't guarantee the correct pronunciation, but I think it's Janaya Daniel. Janaya, my apologies. Janaya Daniel, who will render the national anthem. Could you please stand and stand appropriately?
O land of beauty, our country, where peace about thy children stand free, on the strength of will and love, with God in our struggles, sing kids and nevis be, and it shall bow together with a common destiny. As towers we stand for justice and liberty with wisdom and truth. We will serve and honor thee. No sword, no spear can conquer. For God we should defend. His blessing shall forever to posterity extend.
Thank you, Janaya. Beautiful rendition. I'd like to invite everyone to sit now. And at this point, I'd like to call on Pastor Davidson Morton. Pastor Davidson Morton has been a client of National Caribbean Insurance since 1978. So he's actually a part of us. I'd like to call on him to invoke God's blessings, and subsequent to Pastor Davidson Morton, the branch manager for the NCI office in Nevis, Mrs. Hazel Manners David, will give some remarks. Pastor Morton.
Our Father, I say thank you for this commercial enterprise called National Caribbean Insurance. Today they told me that they are having a soft opening. I pray your blessing upon them. Thank you for all the services they offer for life, and there are some services they offer in death that they only pay out after you die. I now commit this insurance in your hand. I pray that every member of National Insurance will be reminded of the blessed assurance that only you and you alone offer. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Chair, with your permission, I adopt the protocol so ably established, except to recognize Mrs. Sonia Pemberton, our patron, and Mrs. Lorna May Pemberton, a retired member of our staff. I stand very tall today, beaming with pride, to say that National Caribbean Insurance Nevis branch is very proud of its achievements throughout the years. For persons such as myself and Miss Antoinette Daniel, who joined the staff in 1994, we have certainly seen much progress. Progress in technological advances, greater autonomy regarding our daily operations, growth in the size of the staff, division of the staff into various departments, implementation of risk management programs, alternative methods of payments, improved claim processing methods, additional products, and of course several relocations. When we became a part of the NCI family, we met a staff of 4. Today, that number has quadrupled. It now stands at 17. 5 full-time agents or sales consultants, 3 part-time sales consultants, and 9 other members of staff, being ably led by myself and the assistant branch manager, Ms. Kariv Williams. The staff continues to receive training with the aim of the Nevis branch being able to perform most of the duties relating to the business of the Nevisian customers here in Nevis, as it is our goal to ensure that these customers receive efficient service. There is much to be done, but we are progressing and will keep working as a team committed to attaining our goals. We admit that at times we have to be very persistent with our demands, but I can report that on most occasions we do get results. As the company approaches its 50th year of business, it is our vision to be operating from a property owned by National Caribbean Insurance. However, in reading Romans chapter 8, verse 25, I am reminded, but if we hope for what we don't see, we wait for it in patience. And so, we also know that patience is a virtue, and so we continue to wait with patience and faith, and one day we hope that this will become a reality. On behalf of my team, I extend gratitude to our board of directors, senior management, especially our general manager, Mr. Cedric Jeffers, who make the crucial decisions to ensure that our diligent team can operate in greater comfort as we seek to offer products and satisfactory customer service to our loyal customers. A fraction of our clients is seated here today, including representatives from our biggest group, the Nevis Island Administration. We thank you for your loyalty, for allowing us to satisfy your insurance needs. Also here today is our diligent staff, whom we rely on to dialogue with the public and to execute their duties with integrity. We are all ambassadors of National Caribbean Insurance. At National Caribbean Insurance, we offer a wide range of insurance products, including motor, property, liability, various types of life insurance, group pension plans, and of course, health insurance plans. Later, the senior manager of the sales and marketing department, Mr. Floyd Charles, will give a brief overview of the NCI WellCARE Platinum, Gold, and Silver health plans. Then later today, following these proceedings, there will be an exciting launch of the product where the public will have an opportunity to receive consultation from our dynamic sales team. National Caribbean Insurance is here to stay. I encourage everyone listening or viewing to receive this message. Visit our office. Allow us to provide you with the products needed to satisfy your needs, the needs of your family, and your entities. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Manners. And moving along, I'd now like to invite Mr. Floyd Charles to the podium, and he'll give an overview of NCI WellCARE health plans. Mr. Charles. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Before Mr. Charles, actually, I should be calling on the Honorable Premier, Mr. Mark Brantley, and he'll give brief remarks. Mr. Brantley.
Good morning, everyone. Let me start by thanking National Caribbean Insurance for inviting me to say very brief remarks on this very auspicious occasion, the official opening of your new premises here. I am particularly pleased that I can be here, and particularly pleased to hear that the Nevis Island Administration is one of the bigger customers of National Caribbean Insurance. I know the relationship has not always been smooth, not because of you, but because sometimes payments from us are slow. But I am comforted that National Caribbean Insurance has always been there for the Nevis Island Administration and always been there for the people of Nevis and the hundreds of workers that work for us. And so for that I say thank you. And despite the slowness of the payments sometimes, I guarantee the payments will come. So I'm very happy to be here and to be a part of this very important ceremony. I walked in earlier and I said hello to the chairman, my good friend Mr. Keynes, and I addressed him as Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Keynes corrected me and said, Mr. Prime Minister in waiting. And so I wasn't sure whether I should address him as Mr. Chairman or Mr. Prime Minister in waiting, but either way, I am happy to be here with him and happy to be here with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't propose to take up too much time this morning, but I want to say how proud I am of the strides that National Caribbean Insurance has made. how proud I am that this edifice, erected by local people and local investors, is now being occupied. And while I welcome the sentiment expressed by Mrs. Hazel Manners-David, your senior branch manager, that of course you would like to have your own premises, I am happy that you have found a home here in this brand new edifice, which has been beautifully done. And I'm sure you'll be comfortable here, and my hope would be that you'll be comfortable for a long time, until you get your own premises, whenever that time may be. The remarks that I wish to make, brief as they are, is really to encourage our people to see the value in insurance. Too many of our people take life for granted. They take circumstances for granted. They tell me all the time, I'm young, I'm healthy, so I don't need to worry. Or, I'm employed, I have a good job, so I don't need to worry. Or, I have my house already, I don't need to worry. The reality is that none of us know what tomorrow holds. Truth be told, none of us knows what the next hour holds. And the value of insurance is that it is there for you in those moments of difficulty. And so I want our people to see it as an investment in themselves, an investment in their families, particularly health insurance. And I see Mr. Gary is here, Mr. Gary Pemberton, our administrator at the local hospital, and I can tell you that health insurance is perhaps one of the most important aspects, because without our health, we are nothing. Without our health, we can't produce. And too often, the government becomes the insurer of last resort, because so many of us do not invest in health insurance, and as a consequence, when that accident comes, when that sickness comes, and it will come for all of us, of that we can be sure, many do not have the financial capacity to access health care. And so many come to the government in their hour of need and say, could you help? We see people walking around Charlestown with these cards asking you to make a donation. And whilst, of course, I call on all of us who can help to help, because we are a Christian community and we help each other, I wonder sometimes how much better it would be if individuals took a few dollars each week and invested it in their health insurance. I have spoken to a lot of young people and a lot of people generally who say insurance is a waste of money, because the perception is that I keep paying and I never claim, and so it's a waste of money. I don't want you to see it like that. I quite liked the expressions by our Prime Minister in waiting, Mr. Keynes, because he said that he had spoken to some youngsters in Fort Farm, and he spoke to them about the need, or the necessity, let me say, of insurance being part of their financial plan. And all of us need a plan. We are never too young to start making that plan. All of us need a plan. I'm sure Pastor Morton would say we need a plan for our lives. Pastor, that's correct? We need to have a plan that when we go and meet the great Maker, we are prepared. But whilst we are here on earth, we also need a plan. And insurance is a critical part of that plan. A lot of us, we buy a car, and we know that to get the car on the road, we need to insure it. So we rush to do that because we want to drive around. That's important. But many of us are not as keen to get life insurance or to get health insurance. And I smiled at the comment made by Pastor Morton when he said that some of the insurance products pay out in death. And so a lot of people are of the view, well, why should I invest in that? Because I'm not going to get any benefit from it. If you're only going to pay out after I've died, then what is the benefit? The truth is that it's all part and parcel of your plan. Because while you may not get the benefit, your family may get that benefit. Your children who are still in school may get that benefit. Your spouse that you leave behind may get that benefit. And so, again, I echo the sentiments that insurance is actually a critical part of what we do. Not only for you to be on the road and driving, but in your life and in your life's plan, in your capacity to take care of your families and to ensure that you have a solid future for yourself and for your family. So see it as an investment. Not that we're making an insurance company rich, and there's no problem with that either. They're in business, and people are in business to make a profit. Sometimes we get upset that people make a profit. If there wasn't a profit, there would be no business, because there would be no point for them to be in business. So let us not be upset that the insurance company is making money. Focus on your investment in yourself and your family. That to me is what is critical. And I'm happy to hear this morning that you will be launching some other products specifically geared at healthcare, because healthcare is important. And we know we say it all the time, but it is a truism that the wealth of our nation is the health of our nation. And the health of our nation is the wealth of our nation, because without healthy people we can't produce. And our nation's wealth clearly comes from us, from all of us. Madam Manager, let me commend you and the team for your growth in employment. I hear 17. I hope that I can come back in a year or two and hear 34 or 40, because employment is also important. And this insurance company has clearly demonstrated its strides over the years. So I would want to commend, encourage, continue to ask your team to spread out all over Nevis, because it's not just politicians that are knocking on doors. You should be knocking on doors too. Spread out all over Nevis. Speak to people all over Nevis and St. Kitts. Try to get more people insured and try to explain to them. I like the language used by the chairperson. Try to educate them, because a lot of our people simply say, that's not for me, or I'm too young, I'm not ready for that. So let us all get involved, and by so doing, join in hands and build a better Nevis, a more secure Nevis, a Nevis where certainly our people and our families have more financial freedom and more financial security. Now, I believe it would be inappropriate for my speech to be longer than that of the chairman. So I will just say thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for being here. National Caribbean Insurance, thank you for your partnership to the NIA all these years. And I will undertake to continue to try to build on that partnership, even as I encourage you to go out and to spread the good word that insurance is a critical part of our development and our island's development if we are to achieve that level of security that I believe each of us and every family and every community on this island deserves. Thank you, and God bless you, and may this new building be functional and comfortable for you, and may your profits continue to grow, may your employment continue to grow, and may National Caribbean Insurance continue to do well. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. And I know we are streaming live, and so I hope that as that message resonates throughout the island community, more persons will consider coming in and engage in that kind of financial planning for their future. You just can't go wrong when it comes to medical and life insurance. At this point in time, I'd like to invite now Mr. Floyd Charles, our Senior Manager in Sales and Marketing, who will give us an overview of NCI WellCARE health plans. Mr. Charles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to take the privilege of begging you to allow me to adopt the protocol that you have already so ably established. And I want to take leave from that and give a special welcome to Honorable Premier, Mr. Brantley, coming from St. Kitts. A special welcome to you. It's not every day that you get a chance to share a podium with a Premier. I just want to say Prime Minister, sorry. It's not every day you get to share the audience, a podium with a master orator, and so I feel especially privileged to be able to do this today. And I also want to make special recognition to Lorna May Pemberton and Sonia Pemberton, my colleague, and what we want to do today. Now look around you. I want you to give yourself, especially the staff, a round of applause for everything we see here today. The global pandemic around COVID-19 notwithstanding, we are really still in an epidemic of chronic illnesses, what the people from Health Department, Health Ministry would call NCDs, non-communicable diseases, chronic illnesses, which is a public health issue. You heard the Premier, I'm sorry, sir. You heard the Premier talk about productivity that is lost when we are sick and we can't get back on track. And so that's a public health issue. It's also a developmental issue. I'm not being cliched, but I have it here in my speech. And I want to thank the Premier for saying it earlier. A healthy lifestyle simply is a wealthy lifestyle. I have it here, so A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. Like I repeated, economic productivity is lost when people get ill and can't, come back out to work. The only thing, why NCI WellCARE? We asked the question, National Caribbean Insurance is actually the health leader as we speak. We're the leading provider of health services, health care, access to health care as an insurance company in the Federation. So I want us to give ourselves a round of applause for that as well. Because we're going to ask the question, since we're doing what we're doing and we're this good, why NCI WellCARE at this time in the pandemic? We're having it because we heard some of the early sentiments from the branch manager, and we're going to hear some of it a little later from some of the leadership, that we are a bold company strategically looking into the future, trying to grow this business. So we've come up with NCI WellCARE. NCI WellCARE Platinum, Gold, and Silver Health Plans is a solution, the kind of solution that we need to provide affordable access to quality health care. The health administrators are here, and they know that health care does not come cheap. And the only assurance you have, I want to reiterate, the only assurance you have is a solution like NCI WellCARE that will make sure that the cost of your health care will not erode your finances and bring in some cases poverty. So what are these NCI WellCARE Platinum, Gold, and Silver Health Plans? It's actually a suite, because we have a couple of tiers. It's a suite of comprehensive health plans. I'll run them out a little later, and you'll hear it's a laundry list of all the things that you need in an insurance company. But it's a suite of comprehensive health plans, and it's also customer-centric. We got this suite. We didn't come up out of our boardroom and decide what we're going to give you. The customers told us what they needed, and it's a customer-centric program that we're bringing to you. It's a comprehensive health plan designed to address the needs of the market. I just said earlier about the epidemic of NCDs, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, glaucoma as public health issues, and the only solution, NCI WellCARE, Platinum, Gold, and Silver Health Plans. These plans, as I go into the technical aspects of the plan a little bit, have 3 levels. At the highest level, we have what we call the Platinum plan, and that has a lifetime maximum of benefits that you could cover of up to $1 million. The second tier have what we call the Gold plan, and the lifetime maximum for the Gold plan is $500,000 to cover the cost of your medical care, dental care, vision care. And then the Silver plan, likewise, so low level of the plan is one that has a lifetime maximum of $250,000. If you listen to how I broke that down, there's a plan for everybody. There's a plan that everybody in here can take access to. And as said earlier, it's really like a laundry list, actually, of benefits. And I want to list them here quickly so we could get to the program. Basic stuff that we are like hospital confinement. We have the hospital people here. Surgery and anesthesia, the doctor and specialist visits, prescription drugs, maternity-type benefits, diagnostics. We live in a world where it's one test and then another test, and then another test to find out about that test. And so laboratory services and diagnostics, we see how they blow up in the pandemic as well. We cover that. Then there's mental health. This is something ultra-modern, and substance abuse. We see how people suffering through these maladies. And then organ transplants. We talk about first world access to medical care. Then, of course, AIDS and HIV-related illnesses. In this time, we're having almost an epidemic of us having to stay home to take care of our parents, our loved ones, our family. And now we have something that we added, private duty nursing, right, to take care of, maybe we have to go back to what we talk about, productivity, but we have to find a way to keep our grandparents, the people we love, throughout the day. Chiropractic care, physiotherapy, we go on and on, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, the onset, again, I like to use the word epidemic, almost like we have an epidemic of cancers coming out of the woodwork. So radiotherapy, chemotherapy. And then the big one, air transport, getting to a foreign country, getting out of your state for planned medical expenses. We're not talking about emergency yet, because we're going to talk about emergency now. We're talking about air ambulance that comes packed as a standard piece of this plan. You don't have to buy a separate air ambulance from another provider. This one comes in with the plan. Any one of the plans they choose has air ambulance coverages in it. And of course, local, we hear the ambulance moving back and forth, and we say, okay, the ambulance, but that has a cost as well. So local grown ambulance coverage is within this policy as well. National Caribbean Insurance early in the year started a partnership with SKN Moves. If you follow SKN Moves, you'll know that's an alternative. That's part of the government, the Ministry of Health, that's designed a program around healthy lifestyle and wellness. What we call WellCARE is really based on that. The policy itself, I mean, the suite of products itself is based on the wellness concept. And so within this package, we have the preventative care that we encourage. I mean, we're going to have some testing a little later here. We're talking about medical exam. We cover that. Blood tests. We cover that for the ladies, and, you know, pap smear, mammogram. We're talking about PSA for men, glaucoma tests. You've seen a lot of glaucoma recently becoming tractable again. And then all those are standard in this plan, standard parts of this plan. And along with that now, you have the vision, you have the option to take vision and dental care. So I'm trying to build a case for why NCI WellCare. And NCI WellCare is a lot more also more accessible than the other plans. One, you don't need a medical examination to get onto it. Secondly, our coverages, we're living longer. We're probably a little healthier too and living longer. Longevity issues, people living way up into there. We've got a lot of centenarians around. So our coverage goes all the way up to age 75. If you look around you and you see some more people in the environment, some of the competition, their coverages stop at age 70. So imagine that you get to 70, some of us are close to that, and you find that your insurance company says you're no longer covered for the health care. We are saying up to age 75, you're still there. And again, for us, and the amount of the customers who stood behind us all the way, the branch manager spoke about them, you have a chance to come onto this policy too. At your renewal date, you could renew an upscale. You could get from your plan to a gold plan. You might even want to look at a platinum plan, because I said it already, medical expenses, the health administrators are here. They don't come cheap. We're not going to find it. We want to make it affordable for you. And the only way you could do that is the national insurance. NCI WellCare Platinum Plan. Platinum Plan, Gold Plan, Silver Plan. All right? So I thought I'd bring those just a couple of basic features of the plan to you. As we meet later today, you'll go a little deeper into it. And so, but I want to reiterate that we are the leaders in Mr. Boyce, Deputy General Manager is here. We are the market leaders in this field, health care, insurance. But we want to up the ante. We're taking it to another level now. That's why we're here today. This is historic, actually. Okay? And so I just want to bid you a safe financial fair, and thank everybody again for having us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles. That's a very wide range of services. And, you know, if I refer to what the Honorable Premier said, there are some persons who say it's a waste of time to buy insurance. But as we often say to people, you buy health insurance to take care of you when you get sick. But ideally, you do not want to get sick. Nobody wants to get sick. But you buy it in the event that you get sick, because the bills could be astronomical. And if you don't have it, then you are in trouble. But you really don't want to get sick. We accept that no doctor can put you back like how the maker had you. But in the event, it's important to have it. So a wide range of services. And for those persons who are yet to have health insurance coverage, there's a lot of food for thought there for you to consider, and also pass the information on to your family members. Because if your family members do not have coverage and they get sick, the pain comes down to you as well. I'd like to pause here and acknowledge the arrival and presence of a few persons. Our chairman of the board, Mr. Howard Richardson, is here. I'd like to acknowledge the arrival and presence of the assistant matron, Miss Hanley, also the owner's representative, Cyan Shiverton, and I hope I haven't missed anybody else, but if I missed anyone, also, I'm sorry, it's National Bank's manager, Miss Keisha Jones. I'd like to acknowledge her arrival and presence as well. And if I missed anybody else, my apologies are in order. At this point, we'll have presentations to Miss Lorna May Pemberton, a retired part-time worker, and Mrs. Sonia Pemberton, our patron for today.
Good morning, everyone. My little task is to honor our patron, Miss Lorna May Pemberton. On behalf of the management and staff and the whole family of National Insurance, we would like to present you with a little token for your 43 years of sterling service of keeping our environment clean and healthy.
Sorry, my presentation is a bit different this morning. With protocol already being established, I welcome everyone here once again to this well-anticipated event. The pleasure is mine to honor a very dedicated, well-versed, self-motivated insurance veteran whom most may say is one of the strong pillars responsible for building the NCI Nevis legacy. I speak none other than Miss Sonia Pemberton. Born on the 17th of June 1955, Mrs. Pemberton received her primary education at the Charlestown Girls' School, then attended the Charlestown Secondary School, where she furthered her studies there. She further studied at institutions abroad, such as Charlotte Amalie High, Upward Bound UVI First and Second College. Sonia then took her skills back to the shore after realizing the landscape and trajectory of different businesses being introduced in the 80s, where she made her grand entrance into the fairly new company in NCI in 1981. Now, this journey was no easy feat, as Mrs. P started as a clerical staff, then worked her way up to the non-life department, where she explains that in those days, they used to use old imperial typewriters. Sometimes, she say, your finger even gets stick in it. She jokingly expressed that them girls get it good now. Working towards the goal of proper company establishment, Mrs. Pemberton recalls the company's first location as being directly opposite the police station, then moved to top floor of our parent company, National Bank, where even a decision was made as they grew to split some departments, some to the Mona Wallen building, and the rest staff would remain at the bank. It was a struggle, she said, but with God's help, we made it work. Sonia remarks of the times when her then manager, Mr. Denzel Cook, used to pile up duties on her as they expanded and grew to new levels in the market. As she stated, every time they need something, they used to call me. Mrs. Pemberton was instrumental in drafting up new office documents, different slips, etc., for customers to be able to make payments. Various ideas she brought to the table to give NCI its street credibility and market efficiency here today. Mrs. Pemberton often sharpened her skills by undergoing various UE courses in supervisory management and economics, just to name a few. Above all things, she dedicated her free time doing a lot of reading to be ready for the next task ahead. The company made what we thought was the last stop at the St. John's building in Charlestown, where Mrs. Pemberton spent most of her years in the claims department. This job she truly enjoyed. Sonia vividly remembers an incident where a young lady needed urgent assistance, where it was later discovered that with her situation, the customer needed to be airlifted right away. Things were a bit rushed, but Sonia urged the customer that she will try her best to make sure this flight happens. She reminisced of the air ambulance official coming directly to the office to sign documents in preparation to airlift the customer. Sonia witnessed it all. This service costed approximately $75,000. Get some insurance, guys. That's a lot of money. Today, Mrs. Sonia Yulita Pemberton stands before you as the longest reigning staff of NCI Nevis. As her portfolio is still pretty much active, she still serves today as a retiree part-time sales consultant. In her own words, I got energy. I just eat my local ground foods and fruits. Me personally, as I get older, I want to live a similar commanding life like Miss Sonia. Don't you? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as you stand with me, as I welcome you, Mrs. Sonia Pemberton, as she receives her token of appreciation from the NCI family, thanking her for her tremendous contributions to the NCI Nevis legacy. It's a bit heavy.
Wow. Don't put it. Put it back there. Put it back.
I believe, we wish you great health, Mrs. Pemberton, and ask that you continue spreading the message of insurance to our community so that we all may be beneficiaries of such great services. We love you and we care.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It's not here, but I just wondered if anybody, the patron or the retired part-time worker, any response? All right. At this point in time, I would like to invite to the podium the chairman of the NCI Board of Directors, Mr. Howard Richardson, who will give brief remarks and declaration. Mr. Richardson.
Thank you. Just make sure I don't get my infrastructure damaged. A blessed good morning to everyone. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. However, it would be amiss if I do not have a special acknowledgement to the Premier of Nevis, Mr. Mark Brantley. Morning, Mr. Brantley. Also the Deputy General Manager of NCI, Mr. Rayburn Boyce. And finally, Cyan Shiverton, owner of this wonderful building that we have in front of us here. Morning, Cyan. It is always a pleasurable experience to travel to Nevis, the birthplace of my father, the late Dr. Lawton Richardson. Indeed, I have fond memories of the good times spent as a little boy at the home of my late grandparents, George and Eliza Richardson on Pinneys Road. One of the functions of the Board of Directors of National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited is to make decisions about important issues facing the company. I believe it was in 2019 that the branch expressed concerns regarding the location at the Ramsbury site. I visited the branch and really thought that the workers there were functioning in a more comfortable workplace that existed at the head office in St. Kitts, except for the sales consultants. The sales consultants' role in our industry is very crucial, and so we had to pay close attention to their requests. The board gave the instructions for a search to begin for a new location. This search took months. The manager of the branch was able to provide us with some options. The general manager and I visited Nevis and drove around to look at the options and many deliberations. And after many deliberations, we decided on this location. At that time, it was deemed that we should occupy the entire top floor of this building. However, there were reservations about the stairs, and I suppose that it was a divine intervention when we later received a proposal to occupy the ground floor. The manager of the branch was thrilled, but informed us that it was inadequate to fit the entire staff. Hence, a unit upstairs had to be considered for the agents. The layout of the office now had to be revamped and a new design was sought. Thereafter, the decision regarding the type of materials also required some consultations. At last, the decision was made to go after a more modern look with materials that provide greater flexibility. Mr. Wilson Grant, a Nivision electrician and plumber, was able to source just what was needed to give us that modern look. He sourced the partitions and installed them. Other work inside the building was done by Mr. Patrick Pemberton, aka Patches. Electrical work was done by the capable Glenn Byron, and the air condition installation by the Finnish Touch. I must pause to thank the owners, Mr. Arnaldo Shiverton and his daughter Cyan Shiverton, into entering this contract with a company that is reputable. They can be assured that they have rented the business to a firm that will see this space as their own. From all reports, the staff feels very comfortable at this home. The board is desirous of making the Nevis branch's vision of having their own property a reality. So we are looking at options in terms of purchasing land in Nevis that sometime later down the line we can erect our own headquarters. Nevertheless, we are very comfortable here and we might even stay here for ad infinitum. So therefore, I am very happy to be here in front of this wonderful building, I think it represents the company very well in terms of our profile. And I'm very sure it's going to attract new customers as we grow in the industry. The staff waited patiently during 2021, and when the new year came, I believe they added some pressure to all parties, and finally, a moving date was scheduled. From all reports, the move was seamless. The branch did not lose a minute of its operational time. The branch closed to the public at the location in Ramsbury on February the 11th and opened the doors at this building on February 14th, 2022. The entire staff must be highly commended. Please give them a round of applause. The MIS team led by Mr. Clive Blanchard must also be commended. So here we are today. We want the Nevis public to continue to support our indigenous company. National Caribbean Insurance is here to serve you. Please let this be your only choice when shopping. We are here where the agents have greater privacy. You have better parking. Staff can park without being threatened. Operations continue when the electricity goes off. So nowhere in Nevis is too far, and especially when you are coming to a comfortable space. So thank you for your loyalty, and we look forward to your continuous support. And now I declare this building officially opened as the NCIC Nevis branch. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richardson, Chairman of the NCI Board. Now, before I go on to the vote of thanks, I'll just like to take a moment and again acknowledge the arrival and presence of another person, Pastor Ron Daniel, who just came in, and I'm trying to remember the name, from the Ministry of Health, Miss Seabrooks as well, who just came in, and I'd like to acknowledge their arrival and presence. Also, in situations like these, when you are sitting listening to speakers, sometimes some key points evade us. And Mr. Charles made some very, very important points when he talked Keisha Scott will give the vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all. I deem it a privilege to extend a vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First of all, let me start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resoundable success. Thanks to the Honorable Mark A.G. Brantley, Premier of Nevis today Premier of Nevis. In today's program, despite his extremely busy schedule, we are inspired by his gracious presence. On behalf of the NCI family, guest invitees, myself, extend to you, a very heart thanks for gracing the function and sharing with the audience your word of encouragement. I would like to take the opportunity to express a heart thanks to Pastor David Morton for his blessings upon all of us. We are extremely thankful for the chairperson, Mr. Samuel Keynes, for his welcoming remarks, Miss Lorna Meir Pemberton, Miss Sonia Pemberton, and Janaya Daniel for their variable contribution. Also, I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the heads of the various departments, the Director of Board, Mr. Howard Richardson, the Deputy Manager, Mr. Boyce, Ms. Hazel Manners David, Senior Branch Manager, and Mr. Floyd Charles, Senior Manager in Sales and Marketing, for the enormous support and guidance in the organization of this event. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation and guidance to the staff for the enormous support and cooperation who have worked hard to ensure that this occasion be a memorable success. A sincere thanks to all our distinguished guests and invitees who come for different direction for their support and cooperation. I may also like to extend to the Cornerstone Media for their event in covering National Caribbean Insurance WellCARE launch. Finally, I leave you with an inspiration quote from Martin Luther King. An individual has not started living until he rises above the confine of his individualistic concern to the broader concern of all humanity. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Makisha, for the vote of thanks. And at this point in time, before we proceed to the cutting of the ribbon, we'll pause in order to allow the technician to take the equipment on the inside. So during that few minutes, feel free to socialize and interact while we allow them to do that, please.
was weakness, I found my strength. Oh, in the eyes of I see a light in the sky. Oh, it's almost blinding me. I can't believe I've been touched by an angel with love. Let the rain come down and wash away my tears. Let it fill my soul and drown my fears. Let it shatter the walls for a new.
Okay, at this point in time, we'll have the cutting of the ribbon by our patron, Miss Sonia Pemberton. And you can feel free to stay where you are or move closer to the event. "44 years with NCI. That's quite a commitment and an achievement. Round of applause. Okay, please feel free. You can now proceed. You can now feel free to proceed inside, where we'll have a walking tour of the interior of the building.
be strong. Hold on and don't shed a tear. Through the darkness and good times, I knew I'd make it through. And the world thought I had it all, but I was waiting for you.
What did I say?
I see light in the sky. Oh, it's almost blinding me. I can't believe I've been touched by an angel with love. Let the rain come down and wash away my tears. Let it fill my soul and drown my fears. Let it shatter the walls for a new sun. A new day has come. A new day Where it was dark, now there's light. Where there was pain, now there's joy. Where there was weakness, I found my strength. Oh, in the eyes of a boy. Hush, now I see. just waiting.